Well, everybody, so today is kind of one of those days from hell. But, go figure, you can either sulk over it and get upset and, throw a temper tantrum, or you can just kind of, like I always say, laugh at it, give it the finger, and walk away. So, to make a long story short, I had a bunch of stuff for my van because I want to head out 1 week from today. And I had it all set, like it's all supposed to be coming to me in the mail. But unfortunately, the mail is either telling me I have things delivered when they actually aren't delivered, or they're delivering them broken, or there's other issues. So I had this all set to install on my van, and this doesn't have anything to do with the mail. But I forgot these things right here I was like, oh yeah, I'll tighten it down because it's all the way at the end, So I was going to tighten it down, and I'm like, oh yeah, these are already tightened. This is spring loaded, believe it or not. This is on there, and as you can see, it just kind of goes back and forth. This is spring loaded. It's not supposed to lock this in place. So it's just meant to hold this piece on. So I actually stripped this out. I didn't turn that hard, believe it or not, because it's just going into really thin aluminum. But I ended up stripping this out, and I'm like, oh, doggone it. Go figure. So to make a long story short, I put a little bit of super glue around the base. It's in there. It's not falling out or anything like that. I do have another pair of these ordered just because I do want to put a third cross member on, because I do have enough space for one in the very front. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I want to put this solar panel as far back towards my rear hitch as I can, which it sits probably 3 inches in front of my, not my hitch, my rear hatch. It sits, when my hatch is open, it sits probably 3 inches in front of my rear hatch, which is awesome, which gives me more cord space. I was taking down body panels and looking at it last night, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm just going to go through and, because I'll probably need to replace these at some point, I want to be able to take this, on and off during the winter time, because I don't want to run a solar panel in the middle of winter. Unless if I'm going camping, I don't want this stuff all exposed to the salt, because I live in, western New York with the salt belt. It's really not that great an area for leaving things on your car if you don't want it rusted out. Or if you do leave it on your car, you want it undercoated, which I don't know how you'd undercoat this stuff like this without making it all gross. So every time you did take it off, you'd get that undercoating on you, which makes an entire nightmare. But to get back to the point, so yeah, this is actually spring loaded. So it's believe it or not, it's made to move back and forth. I don't know if you could see that. So it's not, these aren't made to like tie it down to this thing. These are actually spring loaded, so they sit in there. So I did order another pair of these. So I will have an extra one. I'm going to have 3 cross members on there just because I'm, thinking ahead. I do have a little space on this side, and I might want to throw some kind of basket or do something else with it. So that's just ongoing, my thought process. Oh, yes. So a lot of stuff didn't arrive today, even though it said it did. I was supposed to get, it's impossible because around me I can't find, I've looked at Home Depot, Lowe's, Camping World. I love Camping World because, to make a long story short, if you're ever, on the road and you get a flat tire, which I actually did, and I was about 3 miles from a Camping World, I ended up changing my flat, and I was like, you know what, I just want to camp out someplace. And a friend of mine worked at Camping World, and they were like, hey, if you're ever stranded or something like that, you can pull into a Camping World for free and boondock. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty cool. Really awesome people there. They helped me get a new tire and everything like that after I switched out my spare for my regular tire. They fixed my regular tire for me. So kudos to Camping World for being pretty awesome. But this wasn't, I know each Camping World is different, but this was in Michigan when I was there, so a little bit different. Anyway, to make a long story short, I went to Camping World to find some of these MC4 connectors to a 5mm jack or 5.5 jack, and I can't find them anywhere. So, you've seen in my previous videos, I ordered one of these connectors from China, one of these adapters, and the one from China came in and the adapter was actually reversed, which, the guy wanted to sell me another adapter kit, which would have reversed the polarity and fried my solar panel and my solar generator. So I'm glad I didn't buy that kit and try to hook it up. I'm glad I went through it with my digital multimeter. I had a good friend over that, him and my father, they both, work on electronics and stuff like that. Different kind of electronics than I do, and we went through the entire setup, and they were like, okay, this is safe. So you don't want any fires. You want to be really careful with what you bought. But let me show you what else I got in the mail, because instead of buying one MC4 to 5.5 millimeter connection, I decided to grab an extra, just in case if one broke or I, had something happen to it or stripped out. So I ordered this, and this was another eBay purchase. And it was through a really reputable company, and it's a really nice cable. I mean, you see the thickness on that? That is really nice stuff. But it was supposed to be 40 inches, right? Okay. Well, let's see here. This is the end. Something tells me that this right here is not 40 inches. Now, I'm not great at measuring, but anybody can tell that that's not 40 inches. It was actually 40.6 inches. So I have to send this all the way back to the company and say, hey guys, you gotta send me the right one there. I think they're the actual, they don't have labels on them, positive and negative, which I don't really like that. So to make a long story short, this is going to have to go back. Very nice cable, but I don't know if their person, I double checked, and it was an error on their end. I don't know if their person was just kind of having a hard day and forgot to measure or something like that, or sent me the wrong cable, but this is way too long, so. Yep, that's what's going on with there. My first stop, when I get on the road. So I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information on this update video, but I'm going to be going down to Virginia. I used to live in Roanoke. So one of my favorite places, there's a couple of different spots. I went on a road trip last year of 9,500 miles and camped out of a Chrysler Pacifica. And that's why I bought a Sienna. I like Chrysler. I'm a diehard Chrysler fan, but since they lost their partnership with Mercedes in 2010, just not my cup of tea anymore. The original Mercedes-Benz Dahmer Chrysler was my cup of tea. I grew up, loving the Vipers and stuff. So I didn't really like the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Again, it's not really my cup of tea. There were some great options. We took it through Yellowstone. I took it through Yosemite, all over the country. And there was a couple of places I wanted to stop. And that's why I bought my Sienna that I've got now, is because I wanted to go out and explore some of these places. And I figured I'd document it with all of my friends here on the Soupier, with all of your guys' awesome feedback. Everything you guys have, your comments and everything have been incredible. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to become a Patreon member. My Patreon is only $1 a month or $2. You get free cookbooks. I've got like pet-friendly recipes on my, I've got a pet-friendly recipe cookbook. I've got recipes up there that are pet-friendly. I've got, actually gourmet recipes for your pets, healthy things for your pets, because I used to raise Shelties and Australian Shepherds, and they have really, really sensitive stomachs. And then I was with my girlfriend, and she has cats that have really sensitive stomachs. So I put all these really good cat and dog recipes out there. If you have dogs and cats that are picky eaters, or that, are you don't want to buy them stuff from the store, because who knows what kind of artificial fillers that they put in these dog foods at the stores. But there's also soup recipes, there's drink recipes, there's, miscellaneous recipes, salads, all kinds of stuff up there that I've personally written, because I do like cooking as much as I do like the van life. And I will be shooting more videos and making them available to my Patreon members. But yeah, subscription is mad cheap. Check it out, $1 a month, $2 a month for the best tier, which is pretty cheap, and you guys get, unlimited access to a bunch of these recipes that I have up there. I have about 100 or 200 up there so far. Even more with my cookbooks, which are download. You guys can feel free to, print them and show them to your friends. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my Patreon in the description below. Thank you for all your support and your awesomeness. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.